What we are about to show you is what we believe to be the fastest charging electric car on the planet. The Zeekr vehicles equipped with their standard range LFP Golden battery are capable of insane charging performance. In our test today, we charged from 10 to 80% in under 10 minutes. Even our 0 to 100% test was around 20 minutes. We aren't looking for a peak power in terms of kilowatt here, but the fastest charging curve in terms of C rate. If you don't want to check out our full vlog and experience here, which was really fun, so I encourage you to check it out, we have on our new testing channel a full deep dive analysis of all the data and charging logs in an abbreviated length. Enjoy the video. We're off to go drive 2 hours to find a fast enough charger. We're gonna go burn this thing down to 0. These Zeekr dispensers are freaking awesome. It says 840 kilowatts. Oh, a ding, and we are charging 400 kilowatts right there, Drew. New out of spec record for sure. Welcome to China. Cool to the touch. So it's just like keeping it right in that temperature range. Completely cold. I mean, genuinely cold. It is embarrassing for every other automaker. Guys, this is the big one. Hello and welcome to another out of spec reviews video. Welcome here to the Zeekr. There it is. The Zeekr factory. We are in Hangzhou City or nearby, and I've just picked up an engineering test mule from Zeekr. Zeekr, of course, is part of Geely Group, which is Volvo, Polestar, Zeekr, Lynk & Co. There's this Baidu car, a bunch of other stuff. Lotus, of course. The list goes on and on. I just drove the Smart #5. We drove the Zeekr Mix, which is my new favorite Chinese car. And now we're switching into the Zeekr 7X. And the reason we're taking this one is this is the world's fastest charging EV, at least according to Zeekr. It has their golden brick battery, which they offer in a bunch of different models. We're taking this, which is one of their charging testing vehicles. Same battery as a series production car, but we're here at the factory, so they said, here, charge this one. And we're going to go charge the world's fastest charging car. I'll explain all the details. Should be wild. This is one of the main reasons I came all the way here to China. So you joined me at Zeekr's campus here in Hangzhou City, just northeast of Ningbo. We're actually heading to downtown Ningbo to do some charge testing. We have to go to one of the very few high power charging stations that can max out this battery pack. This battery is relatively small. It's only 75 kilowatt hours, but it can charge at 5.5 C. They claim 10 to 80% in just over 10 minutes. Absolutely insane when you consider some of the fastest charging cars are 50 to 70% slower than that. It's really crazy. Now, I thought earlier that the Zeekr Mix I was driving had this battery, but this one turned out to actually have the 100 kilowatt hour NMC pack from CATL. That's the Quillin, don't know how to pronounce it, battery. This is a LFP battery pack, and I will insert a clip actually from CES of some more details with the battery opened up, showing you the cells, showing you how it's sort of spaced out from a off-gassing and crash prevention, and show you exactly what it looks like in there. You guys join me standing next to the golden brick battery. So we are actually at CES, so we've gone back in time to this video, but we at least have the battery opened up here, so I want to take the opportunity to tell you a little bit about it. This is the 75 kilowatt hour version. It's in a few different models. They also have a 95 kilowatt hour version in the 001 and some other models. So they have a bunch, like everything from like 48 kilowatt hours, 60, 64, 66, 75, and 95 kilowatt hours, something plus or minus. I think that's the rough range of the different specs that they offer, but they are essentially LFP cells in this, Jordan.
Dang.
LFP 5.5C charging. So that's like just over 500 kilowatts on the big one and like 400 kilowatts on this one. And yeah, pretty incredible charging performance. So we're going to do all the charge testing, but let's show everyone what's going on. So the entire componentry is done in-house by Zeekr. Cell, module, engineering, production is all done by Zeekr, which is really cool. These are the individual cells through here. This is essentially the, 2 to 4 volt
LFP cell, which is pretty cool. And then they also have a bus bar that runs down the middle. So there's quite a bit of space on the left and right of that cell, Jordan. If you look over there, you can see there's empty room down the middle. And I was like, why the heck would you want so much empty room? And a lot of it is for crash performance, so that if you get a side impact, you have a lot of room before you pierce a cell, but also off-gassing. So in the event that you do have a thermal runaway, you need enough room for the gas to expand up and out of the cells. So that's one of the reasons that there's so much room there. Thermal management is, of course, important when it comes to charging and discharging. So there's a single plate cooling underneath that has cooling loops through it. I thought that this was an immersion cooled battery pack, but it's not. It actually just sits on the cooling plate with thermal interface paste that holds each cell down. So it's pretty cool how everything is done. It's sort of traditional in a sense, but then they call it like true LFP chemistry, not necessarily, with some other chemicals in there or whatever. It's like pure LFP, I think is the word they used. And I'm like, damn, that's pretty cool. So you can, charge it deep, discharge it a bunch. There's not a lot of voltage sag across the battery pack, so from an output performance, you'll still have a ton of discharging power, even down to relatively low state of charge. There's these little, if you look in here, these little grooves here. These are not for cooling, but this is thermal runaway protection, and that's what these are right here. And the reason that they didn't necessarily go for immersion cooling is also to keep some weight down in the battery pack, but I think the performance is unlike anything we've seen in the Western world. I mean, we're getting excited at 2C, 2.5C charging battery packs right now. This is 5.5C peak, but then also holds peak power to around 55% state of charge, which we'll find out in the charging test, but it's just like mind-blowing. There's not enough information about this on there, which is one of the reasons we're in China filming a bunch of this stuff, but I cannot wait to plug this in, cannot wait to charge it. I love that everything was designed, engineered, vertically integrated in-house inside of Zeekr, not even the rest of Geely Group. This is a Zeekr project, and they are honestly killing the game when it comes to charging. So, Jordan, I just hit you with all that info. What's your impression?
I mean, they seem like they have so much tech for being a company that's been around for only a few years. I mean, they do have the benefit of Geely and everything, but this booth is one of the busiest here, like we said, at CES.
Yes.
And it's been busy all day.
Yes.
So it's hard to even get this brief filming opportunity.
I can't wait to charge this thing in a few days. It's going to be freaking epic. They say it's really optimized for 10 to 80 charging. They even limit a little bit below 10. We've seen Porsche do this as well and then open up once they get up to around 9 or 10%, but that's probably what most people will do. Most people aren't going below 10.
I hope some other automakers are paying attention. We've seen some other CEO people in here looking at this, but I think
we just saw RJ and Wasim over here, and
they didn't look at it long enough.
We were like, guys, you gotta put this in the Rivian. They saw it, went whoa, and then blasted. But we love those guys. It was awesome to see them, and but yeah, definitely this is the Western world taking note of what's happening right here going on in Zeekr. I am just shaking with excitement to charge this damn thing. So anyway, that's what it looks like opened up. This is again the 75 kilowatt hour version. I have no idea what to expect more in China, but hopefully we'll have the big battery and a fast charger. Let's get to it.
What I'm doing now is I'm actually preconditioning the car. So you can see the vents are just open a little bit here, and I am showing a 16% arrival to the charging station. It's about 2 hours away. So we'll have plenty of time to warm this thing up. It's cold outside right now, about 5 to 7 degrees Celsius, quite chilly. And the Zeekr 7X is really a nice car. This thing looks cool. It's got all the cool features of the mix. It's don't even know what to say, but this one is optioned with the golden battery, and that's all we care about. The 7X, this is an engineering buck. It's like kind of, feels totally series representative, but it's had the snot kicked out of it because they're always charging it and then ripping on it to discharge wherever they go. So Drew and I are now driving a couple hours down the road, preconditioning. We can't take this one on the highway because there's no license plates because it's an engineering test car and we have these engineering license plates. So we have to take back roads over there, which is fine. But I've got my Chinese driving license, so does Drew, and we're ready to go a couple hours down the road to charge the fastest charging EV on the market. Now, of course, that's not in kilowatt rate, but it's in C rate. So the fastest recharge time is what we're looking for. Guys, we are just about to head out, and up until now, the battery has been preconditioning, but it's actually reached the optimal temperature. We will, of course, periodically check in on this, because I think when they put in the navigation, we had just one of the communications guys, not one of the super nerds. They put in the charger. I'm not sure the car knows we're going to the charger. So is there a way we can...
manually precondition?
Yeah. Well, we can. But it has been manually preconditioning. But I wonder if one of these means charger. Like, does it know that there's a fast charger there? Anyway, I don't think it's that big of a deal, because this is the battery temperature conditioning.
Okay.
And as long as it shows this message, it means it's good. And if it pops up like preconditioning here, then it's actually working.
Okay.
And you'll hear the pumps going.
Okay, great. As long as you know that.
So this is crazy, dude. This is the fastest C-rate charging car on the market.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know it's actually the top.
Top.
Sweet.
Fastest charging series production battery out there.
Hell yeah.
So we are leaving the Geely Zeekr campus. This is where they build all of the large SEA vehicles. So like 001, 009, Polestar 4, a bunch of other cool stuff. I think we'll have a video probably going up after this, because this is more exciting than a factory tour. Charging this damn thing.
Yeah, let's actually get out and use it.
But it's amazing in there. Just beautiful design, cool showroom. Feels like you're in the Matrix when you walk in there. It's a beautiful factory too.
Yeah, just clean as could be for a factory is just amazing.
Absolutely.
Modern.
So the crazy part is this thing charges so fast. There's no charging equipment here or at the R&D center that we could access other than their labs
to actually hit the peak.
Right. So all of those DC chargers over there are like the V2, and we need to go to the V4 version of Zeekr charging. So we're off to go drive 2 hours to find a fast enough charger, which is great, because this is one of the reasons I came to China, show their fast charging. So let's do it. And it's cool that we're driving an engineering car.
Yeah, this is great. Can't go on the highway because it's not allowed to.
Yeah, and I guess like we were just in the factory. They're building a bunch of cars with this battery. So it's not like that it's an engineering car because you can't buy a series production one. But
right.
Going through the gate now. Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys. See you later. Appreciate it. Yeah, nice. And we've got 001 right there. All right, let's go. We've got 2 hour drive. We're at 29%. We'll have to turn left out of here. Let's not run over the scooter. And we'll see you guys along the way. Check this out. SAIC Volkswagen factory. So do they build ID3 there? Because I see a bunch of ID3s in the parking lot. Volkswagen Ningbo branch. How cool is that? Audi, German. Neato. So we got to take back roads to Ningbo, which will be kind of cool, Drew, because the highways are pretty ugly around here.
Right, there's just like not much going on. You can't see anything from the highway, really.
Yeah, they have the walls. It feels like a German road network almost, like copied the Autobahn type thing. It works really well. Nice pavement.
Yeah.
But now we're cruising in down here to go to going through the fields, seeing real China, and I'm loving it so far. This engineering car is not aligned properly. and if you put on the driver assistance, it slams on the brakes, which I can demonstrate here. Driver assistance on, and look at this, slamming on the brakes. No one's behind us. And then yells at me. So we are going to turn that off. So we will drive this manual. This isn't just a charging engineering buck. This is not a normal car.
Right, it's just a battery on wheels.
I kind of wish they would give us a series production car, because I know the comments are going to be like, well, only that car charges like this.
Yeah, well, let the comments be like that.
Yeah, that's on them for not giving us a series one.
Yeah, but the what we've been told is everything, battery charging wise is production spec. And this one just happens to be like out of alignment with a rear subframe not bolted on, and ADAS that slams on the brakes. So.
Yeah, this one's. But the Zeekr dude was like, it tried to kill me 10 times. It's like, okay, yeah. So I don't know why we're not driving like a production one, but whatever. It's the same battery that they're putting in cars at the factory. Drew and I witnessed them installing the batteries at the factory, and so we can say that's legit, at least. We're following an engineering car. They're setting the pace. So if we get a ticket, this is the video to show. We're just following how Geely Group vehicles drive through here. And these hauling ass.
driving in China. This dude's just cruising with a forklift.
Pay attention.
You never know what you're going to find here.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. We have made it to the destination with 4% state of charge. Perfect. And this is it. This is an 800 plus kilowatt charging park in a super nice hotel in Ningbo. And the reason we know the power level is because if I click here, it says 840 kilowatts.
Smokes.
That's crazy. And, you know, Model Y is here, so they're not taking up much charging power. And there's another Tesla. And here comes our buddy Paul. So he's going to show us how to put down one of these Neo Power things, and then we're going to plug this in over this way. All right, well, since we're at 4, we may as well do a 0 to 100.
Yeah, might as well bring it down.
Yeah, so we're going to go burn this thing down to 0, and then we're going to come back here, look at all the power cabinets, learn about this station, and very excited to see how this all works out. So...
potential record in the works.
I don't think the Zeekr people know how it does 0 to 100.
Okay.
No one said, everyone said the car's optimized for 10 to 80. It might charge slower below 10, like some Porsche stuff, just to make sure that you don't thermal limit early, but we're going to do the typical 0 to 100% charging stuff. Yeah, there's the Baojun. We showed that in our CES full tour if you guys want to watch that. We are scanning Alipay to pull into the hotel, which is unusual. Normally, we would need Alipay just to get out. But here they make you scan to get in, and the connection is so slow, it takes forever, as it did last time. And then there we go. We click this blue button, it goes loading, and then it opens up. There we go. No idea why or what any of it means, but that's the thing. So we're going to go down to the parking garage again. We're at 0%, best we can tell. It went 3% and then dash. So maybe it just doesn't show you the bottom couple percent. But yeah, anyway, going down this tight parking garage. This is pretty tight. If you look this way, you can see slamming over the median there. Nice. Oh, this is where we're gonna go. And I'm just keeping the heater on. We'll keep it on until, you know, we film and get all this running. So we'll try and get it as low as possible. But the heater's not that strong in this thing.
No.
Weird.
Pretty weak. I mean, could that be a state of charge thing?
Yeah, they could have turned it down at low state of charge for some eco function. Okay, heater's still ripping. Okay, guys, we're getting ready to do the test. I just threw the cameras in the 7X. The 001, this is our friend's car, not plugged in. Model 3, again, not going to pull much power. We have all of these power cabinets, again, over 800 kilowatts of available conversion power here on site, ready to go. So very, very excited. We've got an empty station, a warm battery. We're going to plug this thing in and go, I think, basically 0 or 1%, as low as, you know, I think we can go. It went dash up to 100 and see what the heck happens. So we're going to activate the station, plug it in. I don't want to let the battery get too cold. It is slightly chilly outside. We're going to shut climate off so that it can run as much cooling as it can. You can see it shows, you know, dash range, no percentage. That's where that would show. We will go climate off. Paul's going to get this thing plugged in for us. So we're going to take the DC cover off the GBT port. We'll take the Zeekr high amperage unit in. We're plugged in. It's a little scan to pay through the Zeekr app. And then we're going to monitor that kilowatt rate right there and see how it goes. Although the screen just shut off, so I should probably sit in here. And we've got amps, volts, kilowatts, everything we need to see right here. Perfect. Can't wait to see what the heck happens. We're going to have all the views. This is going to be wild. Yeah. Or not. I don't know. Okay, we've got a green indication indicating the charger is activated. Oh, a ding, and we are charging. Hell yeah. So we're at 592 volts dead. And I've got it set to 100%. And I heard below 10% they charge really slow.
Okay.
Once it hits 10, then it'll whoop, ramp. Yep, so this is not uncommon to charge this slow down here. So the car is predicting 19 minutes to 100%. It's still just started.
Optimistic.
That's crazy.
Crazy if that happens.
Okay, if that's 0 to 100 in 19 minutes, that would be insane. 604 volts already. It's LFP, so you know the voltage really trails off down at the other end. So we did have this thing drained pretty damn low.
Okay, good,
so
good.
that was good. And it could have had some BMS sway. Who knows how this thing has been calibrated beforehand. So we're gonna let it kind of charge slow, do its thing, and we'll analyze the curve here, and then we'll finish up with our final thoughts. So just shot up here to 200 kilowatts. Still, yep, 3%, just hit it. So at 3%, it boogies up to 200 kilowatts.
Okay.
And 655 volts, 660, 670. Yeah, this is LFP, 400 kilowatts right there, Drew.
Oh my God.
Holy smokes.
So new out of spec record.
New out of spec record for sure. And I think it should just kind of hold that. 600 amps. Damn, that's awesome. 17 minutes to 100. This is crazy.
Let's go.
Damn, this thing's ripping 450 kilowatts, brother. Welcome to China. 13% ripping.
You said 470 for a second?
Yeah, okay. I think we saw 470 coming down to 400, but still, it definitely boogied there for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Drew's gonna keep the weight in the seat for us. Appreciate it. Still over 400 kilowatts. We're at what percent now? 25%. And the cooling fans kicked on for a minute and then they shut off. So it's just like keeping it right in that temperature range that it's happy with. The dispenser's ripping, again, 600 amps kind of continuous, which shouldn't really be that hard on it. And it is cool to the touch. No evidence of heat on the connection points. Even in the bend, no, it's cold to the touch still. And we've already put in 25%, so
30 now.
30%. That's amazing. This thing has just been pegged at over 400 kilowatts. Can't wait to show you the video. Everything's staying nice and cool to the touch. These Zeekr dispensers are freaking awesome. And yeah, this thing is boogieing, dude. We've seen almost 500 kilowatts on it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, we got to cannonball one of these.
Yeah, no kidding.
We're at 42%, still ripping 400 kilowatts. Holy shit. Taycan, go home. We're still ripping 360. Oh, just tapered there at 61%. So Taycan holds 300 to 65%.
Right.
And we're doing 330 at 62%, but this is only a 75 kilowatt hour back.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
much higher C rate.
And we just plugged in just a few minutes ago. Yeah, much higher C rate. And even at this state of charge, 63% doing 326. Hell yeah, brother. All right, Paul's phone's got the data here. We went from basically 0 to 70% in 10 minutes, which is insane. And we're still ripping 300 kilowatts at 70%. Drew, we just went from 0 to 70% in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's been another minute. We're at 77%. It's still ripping 250 kilowatts
Yeah.
at 70%. My freaking Model 3 won't do that past 25%. And the cooling fans kicked on for a minute
Yeah.
when we first plugged in and then stayed off the entire time.
Been off. Yeah.
So no cooling needed.
Oh, this is amazing.
And it's 250 kilowatts at 80%. Are you kidding me?
Well, guys, we are now nearing 90%, 88%. Still doing, I think, a battery cell check. My guess is it'll ramp back up. I don't know to be sure, but we'll certainly see. Let's check the thermals because it just ripped all the way, and they are cool. Everything cool to the touch. Completely cold. I mean, genuinely cold. Not even slightly warm. That's a really nice dispenser with a really nice cable. GBT, I think, goes up to 800 amps now. And so, you know, again, this is the small version of the Golden Brick. I can't wait to see what the big version will do. I don't think there's any data labels on the dispensers anywhere. It's not necessarily required like for Tesla stations. Yeah, no data labels, but still pretty totally impressive.
Oh, it just stopped.
Oh, there we go. Holy shit, we're done.
Success.
That's
Holy smokes.
the
We have not
craziest.
been here that long.
I think we've been here just a few minutes. So we went, here are the stats.
97 bucks.
97, how much is that in US? That's like $12, $13?
13.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That was just insane.
It is embarrassing for every other automaker.
Yeah.
Even Porsche.
The bar has been set.
Dude, that's like a gas station visit.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
It did the little Chinese siesta, the Korean siesta, now the Asian siesta.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Checking the balance of the pack and then finishing it up.
It definitely wasn't like, there's some BMS sway with this one. Like zero, it like went to 0 from 3%.
Right.
And then it completed at 97.
Yeah.
So it's like, maybe this car has just never been full charged recently. We don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, that's just the case with LFP battery. Their voltage is, it's really hard to gauge state of charge. So anyway, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Holy smokes.
That's what we need in everything now.
Yep, that's, put this battery in all the things. Okay, well, let's wrap up the video here in a minute, and then we'll go home. Guys, just to look at the charging curve in detail from 0 to 100% with no interruptions. Yes, of course, you can head to our new testing channel, and Ryan's going to give you a full in-depth look, but I'll do the same here just very quickly. So the things that I'm going to be looking at on this display is the amperage level, the voltage curve with LFP. You all know they have a pretty flat curve, except at the bottom and top charge levels of the battery. LFP really trails off at the bottom and really spikes up top. And then, of course, the kilowatt rate, which will be volts times amps. The other things you should look at is on the right side of the screen. It'll show you kilometers of rated range, I guess, in CLTC. I don't remember how I had it set. But then also just above that is our state of charge metric. So let's get started. You're going to see this thing charge pretty slow at the beginning, which is pretty common. Again, we're running 8x. Predicts 19 minutes to 100% when we plug in. I don't think we quite matched that. We were at like 21, 22 minutes, but pretty close. So you can see we're really going slow right off the bat, 0% or so, ramping up hard at around 3% state of charge. Absolutely rips. Watch what happens at 10%. We shoot up right there, 450, 460 kilowatts, a little over, and then right at 16%, we level out around 400 kilowatts. Now, again, we only did one charging session with this car, so I'm not sure what happens, you know, maybe to try and get an ideal curve. Maybe we could have even done better. This is still the most insane charging performance I've ever seen. We're already up to 33% of the way through, so a third of the way through, and we are still at over 400 kilowatts in no time at all, and ripping along. So we're reaching about 50% state of charge now. At 50%, we've come off our peak 400 kilowatts, and we're at about 350, 360 kilowatts. Now, keep in mind the rate that it's showing here, that 500-600 amps or so, that's what's coming in from the charger, I believe, not what's going into the battery pack. But again, we didn't hear really any cooling fans kick on at all through this charging session. It was absolutely mind-blowing how just like dead silent the car was through the whole thing. We did experience something interesting. When we get up to 80%, again, we timed that 10 to 80% in 9 minutes and 45 seconds or so, something like that. Again, it charged pretty slow at the beginning, but when we get above 80%, we kind of hit a Korean siesta, and we're calling it the Asian siesta now because Zeekrs do it as well with this golden battery. And you'll see we'll dip down to about 19 kilowatts for a short period of time here. And what I believe is happening, there we go, we're ramping down and it'll eventually go down to 19 kilowatts right there. What I believe is happening is it's running 20 kilowatts of either cooling or pumps or something. This is how the Kia system works. It does like a cell balance check, make sure everything's healthy and make sure everything's happy. There's not a big voltage difference across the modules. Then once it's all set and fine, it'll go right back up to high power. And indeed it does here. So it's similar. I'm not sure where the 20 kilowatts is coming from, like why it chose that number. Again, maybe it was running thermal systems, but we didn't hear anything. There was no audible fans kicking on. Boom, right there after, I don't know, a few minutes, shot right back up to high power. That was at 90% state of charge, and it's doing 161 kilowatts at 90%, which is insane. And the top charging performance, it rips up top, but I do think this car probably wasn't that calibrated because when we hit 3% state of charge, it showed essentially 0, went, oh, I'm out of juice. And then at 98%, it just went, boop, 100, done. And that's just what you get with LFP. Sometimes it's hard to tune the BMS systems to know what's right at the bottom, right at the top. If we had the car here at the office, we would of course cycled it ahead of time. We would have tried to balance it, calibrate it before any of our testing, as we always do. But again, we just had a couple hours with it and we had to test it, and I'm blown away. And that was freaking wild. And I still can't stop talking about how insane this is. Again, it's not the fastest charging in terms of kilowatt, but it's a tiny little 75 kilowatt hour pack. That's absolutely ripping the juice. Imagine if you just put a 100 kilowatt hour version of that. That'll do well over 500 kilowatts, and I believe Zeekr already sells that one. So what we're really looking at is just the charging curve in terms of C rate, sets the industry benchmark. Nothing I've ever seen comes close. And keep in mind, this is not like a prototype test, dream. This is, you can buy this today and people have them in their cars. And I love it. I love that it's the standard range option as well. So shout out to these guys for just making this thing charge like a monster. Time to unplug so we don't get idle fees. Can we see the pins in there? Are they black? Are they charged? Are they smoking? Yeah. Wow, that's wild. And that's such a nice cable too. That feels like
it feels great.
A little bit more than V3, a little bit less than V4 supercharger.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just hit this little button.
My mistake. This one is V3. V3 is the latest one.
Yeah, V3. Yeah, but for Tesla, this is the cable, we mean to say. The cable. All right, guys. Well, ending the video now from Ningbo here at the 800 plus kilowatt charging station. That was absolutely insane. Just imagine that same C rate, that same curve on a bunch of different size battery packs. I mean, this is finally the first time I really think charging is too fast. Taycan is like borderline acceptable, where like you're in, it's good, but this is genuinely just so fast. It gives you all the optionality. If you want it to charge slower, plug it into a slower charger. You can do whatever you want, but if you're there, you need to get in and get out of the station as fast as possible. Golden battery, that is the answer. We should really put this in every single car possible. Just scale it up. Megawatt charging with golden bricks. What was your impression?
Well, I mean, obviously just insane. And then my question is the longevity. So, how many times can you do that? And if that's sorted out too, plus, like on track, thermal performance, that's just amazing. We're there.
This is our friend sort of pre-refresh 001 over here. So this is before it was updated to higher voltage. And this is from 2021. And at 80%, this car was doing 40-ish kilowatts, which is what you would expect for like most Western cars. And in 3 or 4 years of development, they've gone absolutely insane with the charging performance. From that in 2021, 80%, 40 kilowatts. Now 80%, 250 kilowatts on the small battery. Insane. Yeah, we asked the Geely folks at some point in the future if we're able to come and meet with some of the engineers to learn about the longevity, because that can't be easy on the cells.
It's got to be hard.
I know they do some derating after like a bunch of sessions where they shave, they said less than 10% off.
Okay.
So that sounds like
pretty
the
insane.
worst case. But still definitely more research to be done here, because that is going to be the number one comment on this video. Like, how many times can it do that? And it's like, it can kind of do that forever until what happens, I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Crazy. That's amazing. Love it. So cool. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. We're witnessing the future right here firsthand with Zeekr. Again, this battery can be found in the 7X, the Mix, a bunch of other vehicles as well. Shout out to those guys for taking charging performance seriously. If you're an automaker and not taking charging performance seriously, hopefully after this video, you will, because this is crazy. See you on another one again soon. Bye-bye.